With just a bit of basic knowledge and a bit of determination, you can massively increase your odds of getting a big settlement in an injury case. Figuring out what to do after getting hurt might seem confusing, but if I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, here's exactly what I would do. I'll break this video into 3 key sections: mindset, strategy, and understanding the legal landscape. Everything I'm going to share with you is actionable, meaning there's no strict order to follow. You can jump in wherever you feel most ready. And even if you're not familiar with the injury claims world, that's fine. This video is tailored for you. It's definitely challenging, but if you're willing to put in a little work, you can successfully handle the claims process on your own. In fact, if I could rewind the clock, I wouldn't have waited so long to learn all this. Let's dive right in, starting with the most crucial part, your mindset. When you're trying to make a personal injury claim, it's important to stay positive and not give up. Oftentimes, things won't go as planned. Maybe the traffic crash report says that a certain insurance company insures the car that caused your crash. You're happy to see that the driver actually has insurance, since many people drive without it. You spend 30 minutes or more reporting the claim to that insurance company. You think that everything is going smooth and that the insurance company is going to pay you. But then after a few days, you get a call from the insurance company, and it's a bummer. The insurance company tells you that the policy expired before your crash. It's normal to feel worried or frustrated, but remember, you have to keep going. You can ask your own car insurance to see if they can tell you who insures the other vehicle involved. They may be able to tell you since they have powerful tools at their disposal, but sometimes they won't be able to tell you who insures the other car or truck. So you may have to call the person or company who owns the truck or car that hit you. Hopefully, they'll give you their correct insurance company information. Think of this like a game. If you fall down, you don't quit. You get back up and try again. You have to believe that you can find a way to solve the problem, even if it takes a little time. Staying positive and being determined will help you move forward, no matter what. It's also important to understand that there will be ups and downs. One day you might feel like everything is going well, and the next day something might go wrong. That's okay. Life is like that sometimes. What matters most is how you handle these challenges. Every time you face a problem and keep going, you're getting stronger and better at handling tough situations. Patience is key when dealing with a personal injury claim. These things can take time, and it's important not to rush. You might have to wait weeks or even months for everything to get sorted out. For example, in one of my cases, it took the police officer months to complete the crash report. Fortunately, that doesn't happen often, but it can. When the officer delays making a crash report, it can delay the insurance company paying to fix your car. It can also delay them paying you for your medical bills and pain and suffering and lost wages. But that's okay. It's better to wait and get what you deserve than to rush and get less than you need. Think about it like growing a plant. When you plant a seed, you have to water it and give it sunlight. You don't see the plant grow right away, but you keep taking care of it. Over time, it starts to sprout and grow bigger. Your personal injury claim is like that plant. It might take time to see results, but if you keep working on it, you will see progress. Being patient also means being prepared for delays. Sometimes things take longer than expected. Maybe the insurance company needs more time to look at your case, or maybe there are more forms you need to fill out. Don't get frustrated. Take a deep breath, keep your cool, and remember that good things take time. One of the most important things you can do after an accident is to write down everything. I use a case management system, but if you're not an injury attorney, you likely don't have that, which is okay. For the first 15 years or so of my career, I didn't have a system that easily keeps track of everything in my cases. Now, I can't imagine handling a case without one because it allows me to save and find important details fast. Without a case management system, it made handling a claim twice as hard, but I didn't know that at the time. I worked with what I had, and you can too. Take pictures of the accident scene, get names and phone numbers of people who saw what happened, and keep all your medical records and bills. The more information you have, the better. Think of this like putting together a puzzle. Each piece of information is a piece of the puzzle. The more pieces you have, the clearer the picture will be. You want to make sure that you have all the pieces so that when the time comes, you can show the whole picture of what happened. It's not just about writing things down, though. It's also about keeping everything organized. I cannot stress this enough. Use a folder or binder to keep all your papers together. I highly recommend using folders on your computer, whether you have a Windows computer or Mac. In every personal injury claim, these are the 16 folders on our computer that we start each case off with. I suggest you use these same folders too. It's going to save you a tremendous amount of time. Scan documents in case they get lost. Modern cell phones have scanning apps, although some printers have multi-page scanners too, which works faster and are much better. It's also great to scan documents because there's a high chance you'll need to email them to the insurance company. This is so you can get paid. Keeping everything in one place will make it easier for you to find what you need when you need it. This is also important because insurance companies will look at everything when deciding how much money to give you. If you have lots of information, it's easier to show them what happened and why you need help. If you don't have enough information, they might not believe you or give you less money than you need. For example, if you have a picture of the damage to your car and a doctor's note explaining your injuries, it's much easier to show the insurance company that you need help. But if you don't have these things, they might say that you're not really hurt or that the accident wasn't that bad. Having all the right information makes it harder for them to say no. Yet many people who are injured in accidents complain of their pain, but they don't go to the hospital or doctor. They have every excuse in the book. But here's what insurance companies think if you don't go to the hospital or doctor after your accident. They think you're not in pain. And this greatly limits your settlement amount. When you talk to the insurance company or a lawyer, it's important to speak clearly and tell the truth. Don't use big words or try to sound fancy. I used to want to seem smart to insurance adjusters. I thought they'd be impressed if I used big words. The truth is they don't care. Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Just explain what happened, how you feel, and what you need. Imagine you're telling a friend about what happened. You want them to understand, so you use simple words and tell them everything that happened step by step. The same goes for talking to the insurance company. The clearer you are, the easier it is for them to understand your side of the story. But please be careful. The insurance company can use anything you put in writing or say to them against you. And I promise you this, that sweet claims adjuster who you think will pay you out big will use your statements against you in a second. It's all about the money for an insurance company. They're not like a government agency. They're driven by profit. The more money they make, the happier the company is. To expose another game-changing tip, let's look at this scene from the show Seinfeld. In this episode, Kramer spilled hot coffee on himself. But this clip applies to any personal injury case. Kramer made a claim against the coffee store, and they make him an offer.
We're prepared to offer you all the free coffee you want at any of our stores throughout North America and Europe. Plus, I'll take it.
Here, Kramer didn't let them finish speaking, and that's a huge mistake. They were about to offer him something in addition to the free coffee, but he interrupted the businessman who was making him an offer. So what's the solution? First, let the claims adjuster speak. Don't interrupt them. Now, this can be tough for the following reason. You're likely going to be at least a bit emotional. Having an accident is stressful. You may have a damaged car, need a rental, be unable to work, and have a broken bone. And maybe you're also worried about how you're going to pay your bills. But you'll be dealing with a claims adjuster who doesn't have any of these stressors. On the other hand, they've likely handled over 1,000 claims and have one valuable thing that you don't have: experience. So they have a huge advantage. Think of it like playing golf. I don't play golf. I last picked up a golf club maybe 15 years ago, but I have friends and family that have golfed every week for 15 or more years. There is simply no way that I'll be as good as them, no matter how smart I am, because they have more experience. When the insurance company talks to you, make sure you understand what they're saying. If you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to ask questions. I used to be afraid to ask them a question if I didn't understand what they were saying. Yep, a personal injury lawyer who was afraid. This is because I felt that they'd see me as inexperienced, and I thought they'd pay me less if I seemed less experienced. But here's what I learned in the past 19 years of getting large settlements in accident cases. If you don't understand what they're saying, ask them. It may result in you getting a much faster and larger settlement. It's better to ask and make sure you understand than to guess and get it wrong. Insurance companies want to save money. That means they'll often try to give you less money than you deserve. especially if you're dealing with companies like Progressive and Allstate, who are horrible for fairly paying personal injury claims. But those aren't the only two companies that are terribly cheap. Insurance companies will likely say that your injuries aren't that bad or that you don't need as much money as you're asking for. This is all part of their game. The point of this true story that I'm about to tell you applies to car accidents and all types of accident claims. My client, Madeline, tripped and fell in a deep hole in the grass and broke her ankle. The insurance company for the landscaper and property owner offered her $131,500. Sounds like a lot, but her health insurance company paid around $100,000 in medical bills, and they demanded that Madeline repay them. So it was a very low offer. They were basically telling Madeline that she didn't need much money. That's what insurance companies often do. I'll reveal what happened in Madeline's claim in just a moment. But if you know how the game works, you can play smarter. Don't let them rush you or make you feel like you have to take the first offer they give. Take your time. Ask questions and make sure you're getting a fair deal. Think of it like a chess game. The insurance company might make a move, like offering you a small amount of money. You don't have to accept their first move. Take your time, think about your next move, and make sure it's the right one for you. The more you know about how they play, the better you can plan your moves. In Madeline's case, we fought back and built up her case. We ultimately settled for $670,000. Sometimes insurance companies will offer you money right away. This doesn't happen often. Progressive is the insurance company that does this most often. They may make you an offer even before you've gotten medical treatment. Most other insurance companies don't do this. It might seem like a lot, but if you end up having a serious injury, their offer is usually much less than you deserve. They do this because they hope you'll take the money quickly without thinking about it. They'll require you to sign a release to accept their money. Once you've signed it, you can't ever make a claim against their insured, no matter how bad your injury is. Always take your time and think about whether the offer is fair. That being said, if you aren't injured at all, you may want to accept their offer. They might say that your injuries aren't serious or that you don't need a lot of money to get better. This is why it's important to have all your medical records and doctor's notes. These can prove that your injuries are real and serious. Be sure to ask your doctor if you've gotten post-traumatic arthritis. That's arthritis that is caused by the accident. If the doctor puts this in their medical record, it can substantially increase the full value of your case. Sometimes the insurance company might try to say that the accident was your fault, or at least partly your fault. If this happens, don't panic. Stay calm. Provide your evidence and stick to the facts. It's okay to ask for help. If you're not sure what to do, ask your family members or friends if they've had a personal injury claim, or speak with a lawyer. Just be aware that family members and friends can't give you legal advice. Also, your family member or friend likely has only had one personal injury claim, which isn't representative of how insurance companies handle most claims. But remember that anything that you tell your family member or friend can be used against you later. Think of speaking with a lawyer like asking for directions when you're lost. It's always better to ask than to keep going the wrong way. A little advice can go a long way and make the process a lot easier for you. Often when I get called by someone with an accident claim, they haven't taken the steps they should have from day one. And their case is usually stalled and not moving, and that's not a good thing. You have rights after an accident. You have the right to get help if you're hurt and to ask for money to cover your bills and lost time. This assumes that someone else was careless and caused your accident. You also have the right to say no if the insurance company tries to give you less than you deserve. Knowing your rights is like knowing the rules of a game. If you know the rules, you can play better and make sure you get what you need. For example, if you know that you have the right to ask for more money, you won't feel pressured to accept the first offer the insurance company gives you. It's also important to know that you have the right to be treated fairly. If the insurance company is not treating you well or is trying to trick you, you can stand up for yourself. Knowing your rights gives you the power to make sure you're treated the way you should be. Oftentimes, getting a lawyer is a good idea. A lawyer knows all the rules and can help you make sure you're doing everything right. They can talk to the insurance company for you and help you fight to get the money you deserve. Some lawyers will tell you for free how they can help you, so it doesn't hurt to ask. If you're not badly injured, you might not need a lawyer. But if you're seriously hurt, having a lawyer on your side can be a big help. They can explain things in a way that's easy to understand and make sure you don't miss any important steps. A lawyer can also help you if the insurance company is difficult, and most insurance companies might not tell you about all the benefits you could receive. In a perfect world, this is how insurance companies would be.
I'd like to tell you to take a copy of your policy to Norma Wilcox, W-I-L-C-O-X, on the 3rd floor, but I can't. I also do not advise you to fill out and file a WS-2475 form with our legal department on the 2nd floor.
In that scene, the insurance employee is telling the person making a claim exactly how to get paid fast, but that's often not how insurance companies operate. If they would, then maybe accident lawyers wouldn't be needed. Insurance adjusters don't act like the man in that scene for 2 reasons. First, they would be paying out more than adjusters at their same level, and they'd get in trouble for that. Second, adjusters are overworked. They have way too many claims to spend that much time helping you with your case. Many adjusters have over 200 claims at one time, which is an enormous amount of claims. Their goal is to close out your claim for as little as they can and then move on to the next case. In Madeline's claim that I mentioned earlier, one of the insurance companies at first denied liability. Basically, they said their insured did nothing wrong to cause Madeline's accident, but they ended up paying us a combined $670,000 with the other insurance company. When the insurance company denied the claim, they were just hoping that we'd go away. Many people with claims make the mistake of doing that. Attorneys know how to deal with these companies and can make sure they don't try to take advantage of you. If you're not sure whether you need a lawyer, it's always a good idea to ask for a free consultation and see what they say. A lawyer can also make sure you get all the money you deserve. A lawyer knows what to ask for and can make sure you get the full amount to cover your medical bills, lost wages, and any pain and suffering you've experienced. Most personal injury claims don't go to court, but sometimes they do. If you have to go to court, don't worry. Just make sure you have all your information ready, like your medical bills, medical records, and other evidence. A lawyer can help you with this too. Going to court is like playing in the big game. It might be scary, but if you're prepared, you can do it. But you'll need a lawyer. It's almost impossible to win your personal injury case in court without a lawyer. It's just too complicated. This is because the defense will likely have a lawyer and a good one. The careless person or business's insurance company pays their lawyer. The court is there to make sure everyone is treated fairly. If you have to go to court, just tell the truth and your lawyer will present the evidence. The jury will listen to both sides and make a decision based on the facts. If you're nervous about making a claim, talk to your lawyer or someone who has done so before. They can tell you their experience. A lawyer can tell you what to expect and help you feel more comfortable. The more you know, the less scary it will be. The thing is, so many people don't get paid fair value for their case because they don't use a simple claim trick. I've used this easy tactic to get combined settlements of over $16 million in injury cases. I reveal what this tactic is in the video that's on screen now and linked in the description below, so watch it now. And if you've been injured in Florida or on a cruise and you think that someone else is at fault, click the link in the description below to see if I could be the lawyer for you.